meetup. It's quite interesting. So I'm going to just do this quickly. Here we are. Thanks for coming, guys. This is my second digital marketing meetup, and I still haven't worked out where to stand so I don't get a face full of... There we go. Yeah, thanks for coming. I apologise to anybody who's inconvenienced by me cancelling the last event, but I can't come up here and talk shit, you know? But it's not what I'm here to do. And if I had done that event, that's what I would be doing. You know, I wouldn't be putting the time and effort into making a good presentation, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to do a good presentation. So thanks for coming this time. Pete, if you can just lead us over.
Ready?
Yep. Welcome. I think we've done that, so we'll move on. Thanks to our sponsors. So yeah, the King's Head, I love that they do this for us. It means that I'm not standing in a park, you know, shouting. We have somewhere to go and we have drinks to drink. So yeah, please drink said drinks and support these guys. And you're going to be here for a while, I think. This is a good location. And in Windsor, we don't get the glare, which is an added bonus. Also sponsored by me. I pay the fees to make sure this stuff keeps rolling. I've actually got a little announcement that I'm pretty excited to tell half of you about, the other half I don't know. And that is that I'm no longer working at Australian Adelaide. I've moved on to my own thing, which I've called Digital Labs, because I'm a big nerd and I just want everyone to know, basically, that I'm a big nerd and I'm going to take a nerd approach to the way I do things. So the idea here is that we'll be running tests and hypotheses on the work that I'm doing, and that's why I came up with the name. But that's all I'm going to mention. As I've said in the last event, and I'll continue to say every event that I present, Space is about sharing, Space is about learning, and it's not about selling. So when we're mingling and people want to talk up what they do, fantastic. When I'm up here, when Pete's up here, anyone that comes up here, it's about showing you how to do something. It's not about telling you that it's too hard and you should get ready to do it. That's not sharing, that's not learning. So the reason I started this group was actually because of Peter over here. He's a guest speaker. I went to his SEO meetup in Melbourne, and it was really cool. We had a great group of people come through, and we had dinner afterwards. I think it was midnight. We got back home, because we were just talking about the tools and talking about the tech and about what we'd achieved and what worked. And, I wanted that here, so I started Digital Marketing Adelaide Meetup. And here we are, second one. We've got a good turnout. We've got some repeat people, which I'm really stoked about, and we're going to continue that. We're going to continue to have these every month. So. I jumped into the one already, so I keep going ahead of myself. Alright, we're here to talk about building your Facebook audience from scratch. Hi guys! Good.
That's good.
I thought I'd involve you. Alright, we're here to talk about building your community from scratch. Now this is scary, right? I'm assuming most people that are in here have either looked at that 33 or 0 and gone, shit, I need to deal with this. Or are at some point going to have to deal with looking at that tiny number of subscribers, of likes, of follows, how do I bridge this? How do I build this audience? And I'm going to do my best to run through the steps that I've used to create decent sized audiences in the past. And I've also, this is sort of half mine, half Ravina's. Ravina is supposed to be here sharing the stage with me, and she can't talk. So that would have made a very interesting presentation. But we decided that we wouldn't go down that road, we would have Peter here come in instead. So the first half of this night we'll be talking about building your social media community from scratch. And the second half we'll be talking about content marketing, which I feel goes hand in hand. And it's also a great opportunity to get Peter up here. He's here for the Big Digital Conference, and he's a bit of a well-known guru in Melbourne. You hate that, don't you? But you are. Yeah, he knows his stuff. So it'd be good to get him up and talk about content marketing after this. Yeah, we're here to talk about building your community from scratch. Now, I used to be a personal trainer, and the first thing that I always spoke about with clients was, what's your goal? What are you here to do? And it was a shock to me to work out that that's actually the number one question to ask when you do most things in business. And building a community in Facebook is no exception. You need to know why you're doing this. What are you trying to achieve? What are your goals? And a lot of people don't know. A lot of people will tell me because one of their competitors are doing it, or because, hey, isn't everyone on social? Although maybe not at the moment with Mark and everything going on with him. But in general, we've seen a huge shift towards social media, and companies are jumping on board, rightly so. But what are you trying to achieve out of it? So is anyone managing a community or looking to start a community at the moment? Hey, you're the best. So, you are?
Yeah.
And do you know what you're trying to achieve?
Yes.
Have you got goals?
Yes.
What are your goals?
Sell more training courses.
Sell more training courses.
Increase our conversion rate.
You know, when we boil all of these goals down, they all come down to one thing. I want to make more money. And that's what you're hitting that on the head. You sell training courses, you like to sell more training courses, you want to find more people who would like training courses. But knowing specifically what these goals are is very important. So generally I find that people have three. It's brand awareness, it's sales, it's new customers. Do you know, I think of any more? Because I don't think that's a full list. Nobody? No other reason? I've left one off, and that's engagement. It's building engagement with a customer base. And there's a lot of reasons you would want to build engagement with a customer base. I'll take my most recent employer, Australian Living. You get to control a conversation, or at least be really early on in the conversation. So Australian Living has branches nationally, and they have subcontractors that do a lot of the work for them. Sometimes, through no fault of their own, a little bit of fault, not a lot of fault, a contractor will do something that someone's not super happy with. Now, if you're not on social media and you're not monitoring social media and you don't get to have that conversation early, you get to have it late. You know, and that might be with the that might be with a commission, that might be with someone plastering their poor review on Google and product review and across the world. Or if you're on social media, it's a 5-minute conversation. And I noticed that happening again and again and again. When we were managing this, it was someone had a problem, and if you're proactive, you can deal with that problem early and sort it out and make the customer happy. At the end of the day, this is an unprecedented time of feedback. You get instant feedback with your community if you're there engaging with it. I think it's an undervalued part of running social media. So, set KPIs. This is another thing that I don't see done nearly enough with social media, and that is setting realistic KPIs. And look, everyone wants to have pretty metrics. You know, everyone wants 10,000 likes or follows, everyone wants to have a heap of people here. But it's got to boil down to conversions. It's got to boil down, there's no problem tracking lots of these things, but agree with your internal stakeholders as to what these KPIs are. Has anyone got an example of a KPI that they've used or done in the past? No?
Traffic.
Traffic? Yeah. So generating traffic, conversions.
I've got an interesting one, get more teachers to the website.
Get more teachers to the website. So that's really cool because you get to use social media or targeting to find a specific demographic of people and drive them through. Alicia?
Yes, from a content perspective, turning interest into going.
Yeah. So conversions basically. Yeah.
Keeping our cost per acquisition at our goal number.
Yes. And that's probably one of we've got a couple of key ones here. Setting your goal conversions, your conversion rate, the number of people driving to your business, to page or to your event. All of these are great KPIs, and they should be managed and they should be looked at monthly. Now, I use a plugin called Supermetrics to pull the data, but you can find this just in the interfaces of your different social media platforms, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter. You all have places where you can see these metrics. And what people tend to do is they find this, and they go, woohoo, it's in here. There's an afternoon gone, but do you ever look at after that? You've looked at it, you've had this experience. The KPIs are about tracking regularly. So coming back to a month after month and holding yourself accountable and saying, what are the things I'm going to do to move the needle on that? And what worked and what didn't? What experiments are you running? Anyone who was at the last event who's sick of me saying this, but always be testing. Always be testing new things and always track that performance, new KPIs. Anytime you have a question, just put your hand up and interrupt me. And if it's on the next slide, then we'll have a laugh about it. But this is as interactive as I can make it. So if you want to know something, just ask. So you see KPIs. Next thing to do is to know your audience. There is absolutely no point in putting social media posts up that don't align with your target audience and don't drive any value to you or your business. So understanding who these people are is vitally important. Understanding who these people are is vitally important. There's some basic things that you should understand about these people, which is demographics, geographics, where they are, and what they're interested in, and stuff like that. This is stuff that people kind of know. Or there's a lot of people out there, I'm shocked to see, have no idea who their customers are. You've got a lot of opportunity to find that out, either by surveying the customers. This is about doing social media from scratch, but if you had an existing community, you can actually see that information. Google Analytics also gives you some broad information, but I feel the best way is just using sales data and doing demographics off of people you know. So there is a process you can go through where you identify your primary, secondary, and tertiary people you're trying to target, and then you can find out, where they're likely to eat dinner, how they speak, how much money they make, all of these things. And you sit around for a day and you work all this stuff out, and you feel very proud. I heard Peter say something yesterday which kind of annoyed me, but was really clever, which was, or just pick someone who's a good customer. If that person represents a lot of people that walk through your door, make them your demographic targeting. Say, this is Jenny. We all know Jenny. Much easier to understand. It's much easier to get the voice and tone of your message across when you can think of Jenny. When Jenny is in your head, you're talking to Jenny. So create personas. It's just not done enough. And every time you sit down and you create a piece of content for your audience, look at these personas and work out who you're talking to. Because you're not always talking to one person. If Jenny's a 30-year-old person who's very active, but it just so happens your target demographic is also 45-year-old men who like action movies. God, I'm being very stereotypical here. I am standing out in front of you guys, so I'll do the best I can. You don't have to talk to everyone all at once. You can have a post that's only talking to Jenny's and other posts that's only talking to Dave's, and that's fine. And don't try and appeal to everybody, or you're really appealing to nobody. That old adage. So yeah, my next tip here is to make sure that you have the demographics down and you know who you're talking to. To really get an idea on what social media platform you're going to pick, have a good idea about where these people interact. So I think we've all come across a Facebook page that has 1,000 likes, and every time they post anything, there's 1 or 2 likes or comments, and if you have a bit of a look, it's the owner's daughter and the social media person. It's a really good indication that either your content sucks, or maybe you just shouldn't be on this platform. you know, again, probably not right at the moment, but in the last 2 years we've seen a huge rush onto Facebook. You know, Facebook is the future. Everyone's on Facebook. I've got to get on Facebook. If you're a business-to-business company, that might not be the best solution for you. It might be LinkedIn. Hell, it might be nothing. You know, the time that I've worked in an organisation, I'm not going to name names, I've worked in an organisation who put a full-time person's wage to running blogs, being on social media. They're a business-to-business entity, and that was a waste of time because that generated 0 results for them. You know? There were no leads, there were no conversions, their social media floundered. Why? Because you're in a business-to-business organisation and no one cares what you're doing in your lunch break. You know, no one cares that you're building Lego models or whatever you're doing. That's not engaging content. So be really clear about who your target market is and where they hang out. So a good way to do that is go and check out your competitors. So if you're going to look at your competitors' social media platforms and go and have a look, and if you see that situation I just described, if they've got 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 subscribers and no one's engaging, no one cares, have a good hard think about whether that is the place for you, because it might not be. If their content sucks, by all means have a go. But think about your target demographic, have a look around and understand, is this the place that I want to be? Is this a place that I need to be? Or not? And really, really go back to those KPIs and reasons, why am I doing this? If no one's engaging, no one's talking about brands and products and things that you're trying to push here, are you just wasting your time? I'm not here to tell you to not do social. Social's fantastic. But be really picky about the time you put into it. I mean, if you're posting 2 or 3 times a week and you want to keep it interesting and engaging, it's a lot of time put into really good quality content. And I'm here to tell you that shitty content doesn't work. A few years ago, content is king. That's all I heard. Content's king! Everywhere, content's king. And so what people got in their heads was, I need to produce a blog post a week. I need to produce X amount of social media posts. And it is just an avalanche of stuff that you don't care about. You know, it's measured in milliseconds. How much time you take looking at the phone for it. Nah. Every time you go no, Facebook knows, Instagram knows, Twitter knows. If you're not lingering on these things, the algorithms and machine learning, or you know that buzzword, machine learning, the machine learning will know that you don't give a shit about this, and this content will become less and less. So, I mean, that's another measure of success, right? If you're seeing that you're just not getting the engagement, maybe your content sucks. And rather than do 5 posts a week, you should do 1 post that's amazing, that you've put your heart and soul into, that's different, that's out there. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about the way they interact. So we're going to move on now. Sign up phase. So you have worked out your goals. You've identified who you're talking to. You've identified where you want to talk to them. The next thing to do is to go and sign up. And this is, most places is trying to find the old account and talking to the boss and going, give me every password you ever used because I can't seem to find this. Kill all these old ones. You know, you can go through Facebook and claim these things, even if you don't have the email address, you can eventually claim these things. Kill all of your duplicates. It's doing you no favours. Find all the old shit and kill it. Just have one. Just have one of everything, unless there's a really strong strategical reason for that. I came across a talk actually about Telstra, and they had 280 different Facebook pages. Can you imagine trying to manage 280 Facebook pages? I can't. I think I would go nuts. And yeah, that was agreed upon by the people at Telstra because they canned half of them and amalgamated them. There's there's no reason to have lots. Have good stuff. So strategically pick the ones that you need and only sign up for the ones that you want and stay away from the rest. So I have a list now of different social media. Facebook's pretty straightforward. Instagram is heavily linked to Facebook now. If you're using Facebook, do yourself a favour and get Business Manager and make life easier for yourself. If you don't have Business Manager, you're missing out on a lot of key tools and analytics and the ability to share with advertisers and whatnot. Definitely get a YouTube channel. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. People forget that. And it doesn't have to be polished, amazing, cool stuff. I look at some higher class YouTubers and I think, that sucks. This is not great. If you've got a camera and a cheap tripod, have a go, have a chat. There's plenty of good people in Adelaide that I can pass their details on to you that will help you deliver that content. But really have a good think about YouTube. It's an underused platform. Twitter's good if you can keep up with it. You know, you're looking at a post a day. I read somewhere they recommended 5 tweets a day. I'm not that interesting, and I don't know many businesses that are. You know, if you are, then cool, and there's definitely a place for it. But really, again, look at your competitors, look at what you're trying to achieve, look at the amount of time that you have to put into this platform and see, is this really what you're looking for? Pinterest is an interesting one that works reasonably well for Australian Outdoor Living and a couple other companies that I've worked with in the past. But it has to be the right demographic, right? It's got to be people who are willing to look through heaps of photos and pin things. And Instagram, just go back to Instagram for a second. I don't see a lot of evidence that people above the age of 50 are using it. So be really clear about your target demographic when you're using it. And think of it as a top of funnel awareness piece rather than a conversion piece. You're looking to share pretty pictures with a lot of different people. And if you're a florist or a hairdresser, or you've got a really beautiful product, it's going to really stand out in Insta. If you're a lawyer, Insta's not really for you. And the more you try and make it appeal to the audience, the less you're selling something and just doing it for the sake of doing it. I really am hammering this KPI thing, right? But I just see too many people wasting too much time on things that don't matter. And this is a prime example. Instagram, there are Instagram models, you hear about it every day, where they make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. I saw something today about this 18-year-old girl in Russia that dresses up in cosplay and makes $1,000 a post. But that's because she's got a very specific thing that she's selling and a very big, dedicated audience. And she's a pretty girl. That's how this is working for her. If you're not a pretty girl and you don't have a pretty product, have a really good hard think about it. So, and lastly, Snapchat. Again, you're looking at a younger target demographic. You're looking at young, funky, cool, interesting things to happen. I might sound really down on social right now. I love social, but I pick 1 or 2 things that work, and I just work it. You know, Australian Outdoor Living, we had over 100,000 likes on there. And I'll be honest with you, part of that was because we paid a lot of advertising. And part of it is that we had a dedicated social media person that put a lot of time into crafting a good content calendar and engaging with our audience on a regular basis to drive that interaction. So the key takeaway here is not Corey hates social. It's I love social, but I like to love one social. Don't try and love all the socials. Pick the ones strategically that work for me, that are going to drive the outcomes that I'm looking to drive. And I leave the rest alone because it's not worth your time and pain and all the things involved in that. All right. We're on to attracting your community. So you've worked out Facebook is for you. You deleted your old accounts. You're on. You started your new thing and you're looking down at the barrel of 5 likes. Yeah, I got another one last week. I'm on 6 now. Boss is loving this. Okay, so there are some things that you can do. Everybody has networks. Everybody has people they know. You should be able to get to 200, 300, 400, 500 likes relatively quickly by bothering your friends and family and having your customers and your advocates that are out there also bothering their friends and family. It's what you need to do to get that first momentum happening. And look, it takes 2 seconds to like something and just gain a little bit of social proof. Now, I just shit-canned vanity metrics, right? I said likes are important, but not as important as engagement. It's very true, but you also need to be moving in a direction. And if you don't see that needle move, you have less people to engage with who are not going to get where you need to be. And this kind of step is really important in pushing them forward. And hey, you know, my mum's my biggest fan. Absolutely. You know, so when I'm doing this, I'm doing the live stream, she's sharing it and she's sending it to her friends and they're looking at it. And you never know who knows somebody. You never know, she's in England at the moment, but she might have a friend who has a family member who runs a business here and needs my help. You just never know. So doing that community through friends, family, connections, real world stuff is more valuable than people give it credit for. Creating and sharing appealing content. I could do a whole session on what works and what doesn't and how to create good compelling content. What I'll say is do a lot more research than you think is needed. So look around at your competitors, look at what works, and look outside your industry. Look at things that are really compelling and interesting to you, and then bring that across. And I've had a lot of success in, especially developing Facebook videos, just ripping off someone else's stuff. To be quite honest, seeing a really cool, you know, Google AdWords video that's animated, and I like that. You know, I actually went to one of my video producer people and went, make that. Just make that, but make it for our product. It did really well. Hey, it's the oldest thing advertising, rip other people's stuff off. Don't just do that. Terrible. Like, you know, gain some inspiration here and there. Come up with what I like to do with new clients is have a theme for a day. I can recognise some faces in here that have been around for a while, so this is old as donkeys. But it works. You have a funny Friday, or you have a client testimonial Tuesday. One of the, again, I'm talking about AOL because it's my most recent job / big client. We got amazing interaction on featured installs. All we did was say, hey, if you love our products, send us a photo and we'll feature it. We'll give us a good testimonial. Those things were gold. Everybody wanted to have their fancy new backyard shown off to the world. It was a great opportunity. It's a great way to share the products that we show. Share and create useful content. Be a knowledge leader. If there's something good out there, don't be fearful of pushing something that's not your stuff. Don't always be me, I. If there's something good out there, push it out and let the world see it. Have a reason for people to come back to you and read your stuff. And I've already touched on this, share user-generated content. If someone says something nice about you, is there a good testimonial? Is there a good interaction? There is a way that you can fan the flames of something that someone has said about you or likes about your stuff. Use all mediums when you're building your stuff. So image, videos, live stream. We're live streaming right now. And look, the measure of success tonight is not how many live streams I get. If there's more than one, I'm going to be stoked. Four! Yes! But the last one was viewed 50 times, I think, rough round numbers. And that's 50 people who got to listen to this stuff that weren't here and what could honestly be my mum 49 times. And someone interested, which is cool. But use the platforms that are available to you, use them all, get your message out there. Be reliable and post regularly. Now I'm going to jump to the bottom here and say create a content calendar to be consistent. If you are managing a social media profile and you don't have a content calendar, you're making life really hard. Really, 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 energy it takes to sit down 3 times a week and go, what are we posting today? You see anything funny? Yeah, you know anything interesting? It's a shitty time. It's not a good time. Whereas if you get a little work group together, if it's yourself, you get some friends together and a few drinks, and you list all the different types of posts that you could do, all the interesting things about your brand, all the interesting things about your product. You make the master list of things that you could talk about, and then you go and you populate that out through your calendar. So yeah, I'm going to post 3 times a week. You just start with a calendar and you put the name of the post. I use Trello. I am in love. Is anyone else using Trello? I love Trello. No one. It's just me. Oh, okay. No, it's just me. Trello is a great tool for this because it's very visual. You can put the picture and the description, and you can scroll through and see. You can see patterns and things that work. But have a calendar that's really clear and easy to read. Someone else can pick up and start scheduling. So using things like Buffer, using things like Hootsuite, the built-in tools in Facebook allow you to schedule posts. For the love of God, don't try and come up with something every day. And you'd be shocked how many businesses that I've either worked with or in, they go, oh, it's Friday, what are we going to do today? How much time is wasted on this? There's 3 people in a room for half an hour trying to come up with a post. That's an hour and a half's time. You know, do it in half a day, you'll be super happy. So yeah, running competitions is a really good one. Oh God, I'm sounding like an AOL advocate here, but we got a lot of wins in Australian Outdoor Living by running competitions for things like signed merchandise or percentage off vouchers, which is always a win, right? If you're going to your boss and going, I can give you a lead and more customers, all you're going to do is give you a percentage off of a product, it's a no-brainer. You get to give something away, you get a positive interaction, and you get to grow your audience. Alright, next one. Just use the arrows. Boost your reach, just click straight across the next one up. So when you're running these competitions, spend a bit of money. You would not believe the amount of results you will get out of boosting posts, spending a bit of money, pushing the envelope a little bit here. Facebook's a business. I think that's become painfully aware to everybody. But it's not just Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are, there's always an opportunity to spend a bit more money, and when you spend a bit more money, your reach is magnified hugely. Re-advertise to existing users with more salesy messaging. You've got them in, you're talking to them, now you get to sell to them, you get to drive those conversions. If I can give people one tip about digital marketing in general and social media, is just set up your remarketing lists off of your website and hit these people. You'll be surprised how quickly people forget about you. It's not because they don't love you, it's because we've all got busy lives. Being front and center again and again and again, build impressions, build memory structures, drive conversions. Mention your social media everywhere. This is another hugely overlooked tactic. So have it on your website, have it on your business card, have it. There's a great one here, this is Rabina's one, which was a waiter saying farewell. You know, hey, have you seen us on Facebook? We've got a cool special next week. Give them a reason to go to your page, not hey, it's cool. You know, if you can tie it into, our Facebook members get 10% off next Thursday, you should check it out. There's a really good option, a very good chance to go to that someone will actually go and look and check it out. You have the opportunity to put on signage, on menus, on flyers, on brochures, on your TV ads, in your press. Plaster it for the world to see. It's not a direct relationship. You're not going to see a huge influx of data you put Facebook on your TV ads. But every little bit drives new people in here and drives that engagement. Next one. Questions? Yes? Questions? Questions? answers.
What's your experience with competitions? Like Facebook has come out and said that they're not rewarding that kind of content in feeds.
Mm-hmm.
What's your experience been with that?
Sure. Well, they're not rewarding it, but they're not doing a great job of stopping you doing it and penalising you for it either.
Yeah.
And when they're talking about not rewarding it, there are good ways and bad ways to use Facebook for competitions. Like, share and follow this for a chance to win. That's dead. You know, that used to work, but Facebook will catch on to that really quickly. But, you know, hey, the biggest one for AOL that we had was, and I still think it was really cool, was for the chance to win a Guernsey, tell us, there were two good ones, I'll tell you both. Tell us why you love the Strikers. Really simple, but they were, and the person who gets the most upvotes wins, gets the most likes wins. And that was really cool because a lot of people come in and do that. And yes, it's the line of what Facebook says you can't do, but you can get away with it, get away with it. The other one was cool because we were using animals. So if you can put a cat or a dog in anything on Facebook, you're guaranteed for some wins. You had your favourite football pet. So there were corgis dressed up in Crows gear, there were Great Danes in Power gear, and that was just fun. That was just cool to see all these dogs and different stuff. So yeah, look, Facebook's probably not giving you the love you used to get out of that sort of stuff, but I don't think it's dead, and I think there's still some really good use cases to put competitions out there and get some love. And there are other social media platforms that you can push that on. Thank you. Good question. Yes.
I noticed what the different platforms you discussed and options. One that was more obvious to me was the one that's missing was LinkedIn.
Yes, that was a huge oversight. Thank you.
It was an oversight because I thought maybe it was deliberate.
No. So I love LinkedIn. You're all here. You're not all here, but there's a percentage of you here because of LinkedIn. LinkedIn's fantastic for business to business. It's thoroughly useless to sell a product on. Although I know AIB gets some love, and there are certain products you can sell that not mentioned. I love LinkedIn. It's a really different game. It's kind of like going back in time for social media. Whereas if you engage, because a lot of people are just there. So you engage on posts, you post regularly, and you probably see I've started to do that since I've moved into my own thing. You post regularly, you comment and like and share other people's stuff, and you see huge results. My little photo of my screen and my surface and moving into WhatsApp, I got 10,000 views, which freaked me out. Obviously, there's an algorithm thing there where I'm talking about business, and I think I got 10 likes with 30 views or something stupid, which keep that algorithm into gear. But for business, you can't beat that. Business to business, it's fantastic. That was honestly just an oversight. Cool. Have you got anything you want to ask about LinkedIn?
Well, a lot of it was I was going to ask because B2B is one thing, a lot of things in Australia that's all B2C. So
how would you do it?
Yeah.
I like to think of LinkedIn as an extension of your offline connections. So if you're still posting regularly, I do a lot more sharing of other people's stuff than I do posting my own stuff, and people appreciate that because I'm positioning myself to be a knowledge leader. You leverage the existing relationships that you have by sharing and liking their content, and they will return in kind. And that's the key way to do it. LinkedIn's targeting is also fantastic. So I've seen some real wins with paid advertising on LinkedIn, and you can definitely grow your reach that way. But leveraging the existing relationships, sharing good quality content is the key to success from what I've seen, and being very active. On Facebook, you can be really active, it does jack for you. If you spend half an hour a day on LinkedIn, and I can tell you this from personal experience, liking, commenting, sharing, being involved in the community, your view numbers just go up in line with the effort you put into it. I haven't seen that result in any other social media, not to that level. Cool. Well, I might give Peter the stage because I said I wouldn't be that long and I really have. Pete, you're up.
I'm going to go on this side.
Ooh.
So I can contrast with the wall. Yeah, hi. Thanks, Corey, for inviting me to come and talk.
No worries.
So I'm in Adelaide for the Big Digital conference and presented today, and a few people are here from the conference. Other than that, I've known Corey for a while, and so yeah, he pretty much said to me yesterday that could I talk about something. So I thought, well, I can talk about something. So I'll just talk about what I do. So this presentation is pretty much what I do. It's pretty much just an outline from start to finish. And hopefully it's not too bland for everyone. So now I've got to get the nods happening.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah. So content marketer. Next. So content marketing methodology. So okay, I'm saying it's the primary vehicle for increasing your digital growth. Instead of doing old-fashioned link building, we can do content marketing. Of course, it involves all kinds of things like social media, AdWords, and of course we want to use inbound methodologies as well to maximise conversions. But in general, there's a process that I use, and that is really simple. Create great content, promote it effectively, and then optimise for conversions. What I'm saying here, the primary goal for content marketing is to build your online reputation and visibility. And you want people to love you.
Can you do the voice?
So, yeah, links are a pretty weird thing. I mean, a lot of people hate them, a lot of people love them. But I guess on the internet exists because of links. So you can't get away from them. If you've got good ones, they can really help. So why are they still so important? Because they're a form of endorsement. What kinds of links? Well, really kind of natural links, ones that are earned, I guess. And what about unhelpful links? So manufactured or paid links would be the ones that can hurt your site. And so how does quality content attract links? So I'm saying here that key to content marketing is earned link building. Again, this is just what I do. I'm sure other people have got other perspectives on this. It seems to work for us. So if we can get this right, then it works. So 3 main reasons people link to our site. So interesting and engaging content, valuable information and resources, or a relationship with a reader. So maybe I'll unpack that a little bit. So how many times have you found an article that you thought was just a really great article? It's engaging, it answers a lot of questions. The idea is you're impulsive, maybe you feel like sharing it out on social or something. And so that's the kind of concept behind it, is that people are going to impulsively interact with your content if it's good enough. But if it's not a run-of-the-mill same article you get everywhere else, well then you probably won't. So back on the buyer personas again, and I guess, yeah, there's so much about this around the place. HubSpot, everyone's got some tips or something about buyer personas. But yeah, I guess the thing was yesterday that I spoke about was, yeah, you stole my thunder. But yeah, basically, if you've already got customers, then have a think about which one's a good customer and just use them as your persona that you want to work with. And ask them, say, would you mind if we ask you some questions about our business, how we're servicing you, how could we do better? It's just, I guess it's just real old-fashioned business, right? So it can also work digitally. Yeah, next. And the next one is, I mean, once you've got your personas, and so not all content works for all people, and so this is where, I mean, I'm not going to go through all these bullet points, but the lists do get longer as we go through the slides. So I'll just to say that there are many, many different types of content that can work for different audiences. And yeah, it's just, of course, the main one where if you haven't done any content marketing before, the main one to start with is probably just start blogging and start working out that way. So my favourite content type. So promotional strategies, well, okay, so we do start blogging, we do start writing or making videos or doing whatever, and then often the other side of the coin, which we perhaps a lot of people forget about. I see a lot of businesses who are blogging and doing all this. They write this article and they publish it, and then they wonder why no one's coming to the site. Well, they haven't promoted it, right? So you need to promote the stuff, get it out there, put it out on social, pay for AdWords, whatever, to get traffic to those pages, and you get engagement and to So we'll go next. Also the idea of it, sort of some viral, just a bit of viral, something which is, just hooks into things, getting people to spontaneously share it. It might have something that, some driver that makes them want to share it. And so next. And further ways. So outreach is also another thing which I guess for any of us who have been doing, I guess, SEO work for a long time, outreach is one of those old hangover words that I guess it's a bit of a code word for spam, And
no. You wound me, sir.
But you can do some targeted outreach. You can build relationships, and Adam was saying some things about this today about building relationships, which I really liked. He was talking about working through figuring out who you can build these relationships with, and then and building those things to a point where they're going to want to either share for you or you're kind of using them to share, which I thought was quite interesting. But so definitely get organised. Make lists. Make lists of people who you want to build relationships with and who you want to target for outreach. What about leveraging social media? So, of course, it goes without saying, once we've published our article, we want to share it out on social, and so also to reach further, but also get in front of those sharerati, the ones who can share your stuff for you to make it go further. So also obviously paying for promotion, which is probably the no-brainer as well. I think a lot of people they write a blog post or they maybe write some content for their site, an article, maybe they're blogging every week, and they don't necessarily think about how they can actually pay for AdWords to that content. They think about sending AdWords to conversions to get sales or whatever, or leads. But what about driving paid traffic to the content for content marketing? So, so obviously optimizing for conversions. So if we've done all this stuff, we're starting to get some traffic to our site. We really want to make sure that we've got our site set up in the best possible way to optimize for conversions. And just all the usual things, calls to actions, even things like putting a contact form within reach, or things like phone numbers on the site. Even things like use the phone number on a mobile phone. Can you tap the phone number and make a call? Or, because that often doesn't happen either, right? You're on someone's website and you go to tap that number and it just doesn't dial. And making the checkout process easy. We did some work for a client, and we got to their conversion page and they had about 50 options, and I said, we need to make that into a wizard. Because you're just saying no one's going to sit there and pick the right option. People are going to bail on that checkout process. So I guess inbound, everyone's probably heard about inbound at some stage, or everyone's heard of HubSpot. They wrote a book on inbound, apparently. I guess the idea that you do want to spend some time thinking about the traffic that's coming, the general traffic that's coming at the top of the funnel, that sort of broad traffic coming to your loose articles, that sort of thing, and then funneling that down. So there's many ways of doing that. It can be very, very simple. It can be a very simple funnel, or it can be an elaborate one. But you just need to have a think about it. And if you are collecting email addresses, don't abuse them, don't spam them with the email address. So it looks like a bucket to me. Of course, content calendar. Spend the time planning in advance. If you're busy and then it comes around time for you to do that blog post or for you to do that video, and if you haven't planned it, and if you're busy trying to get things done, then chances are you're going to miss your due date if you haven't planned it. So here's a really, really long list of things. But basically, this is kind of wrapping everything up, saying, okay, all right, so all those things. Now, how do you actually execute? Well, you've got to do all these things. So, schedule all these things in. So, when we pick up a new client, and we have to do all this work. We've got to fix up their website structure. We've got to work on the keyword research. Fix up broken links. It's all the traditional SEO work that we're doing here in the first month. And a lot of planning, but also lots of one-site optimization. And and it takes a lot of work, so it takes a lot of time and effort to do it. But we find that, you want to?
I have a question. So, since this is specifically about WordPress, I've noticed recently that WordPress's canonicals have been set incorrectly and have a trailing slash version, even though your HT access would, in a proper scenario, have a no trailing slash situation. So there's nothing else existing after the domain because it's not restructured, overstructured. Yeah. How would you rewrite this module in your HT access to properly set it for WordPress in your databases, including in a multi-database site?
Well, you do want to make sure that the trailing slash, if you want trailing slashes, that they are on, and that they are, if they're on, or if you want them off, then they'll turn off.
Now it's set to the trailing slash, which is bad for your SEO. So how do you set that using the basics? Because yours will actually create a negative impact on that. And that's on your list.
That's a good question. I haven't thought about that. Yeah.
Look at your sites. Go through the last probably 50 you've audited. You'll see that magically the canonical is set it correctly for the trailing slash. The entire site, canonicals are now wrong on WordPress.
Sorry, what was trailing slash bad?
Trailing slash is bad because what it does is it signals the search engine there's more existing on the folder, so it's going to continue to look at it. This is the layman's terms, but in a technical standpoint, actually they did it. John Mueller came out and said you shouldn't have a trailing slash because this, and this recently. And you can see it in the videos in one of his chats. You can still do it. They just said it's not an optimal standard optimization. But you can redirect down beyond. Because if it's the very end, it's fine. But it's just similar to an Ajax type of thing. We don't want the hashtag. And then you have to set extra rewrite modules to ensure that you don't have backlinks and duplicate versions. So that way you're constantly doing a sort of like
Maybe just so we can, that's where I want.
but it doesn't matter because the canonical links inside WordPress is still going to be set to a trailing slash. But if your website doesn't have a trailing slash, now you're saying the proper version of the index has a trailing slash, the rest of the site does not.
Yeah, I've done something like that.
Canonical is supposed to say, here's the version
Sure,
With the PHP config.
Sure, it's a wildcard, isn't it?
server like you're about to say. Then you now choose it with the versions of your site.
Slash space wildcard equals.
And
space.
so I'm seeing that missing from here, but there's two specific things
Yeah.
that the project canonical.
Well, where you say the canonical set up, you know, you said
So the canonical is going to be a trailing slash.
Yeah, I might keep going.
We're just going to
Well,
keep going,
Yeah,
guys.
we'll just keep going for now. And yeah, so I'm nearly, I'm 2 slides away.
I'm five seconds.
Yeah, but this reads like a typical, it just reads like a typical SEO on-site list. So if you go to, I mean, and typically we don't get all this done in the first month. Sometimes we can, but oftentimes we can't. So the second month is when, in theory, we've done all our on-site work and planning, and now we're actually getting into the content marketing and the blogging. And this, yeah, again, it doesn't always work this way, but you know, I guess if we don't, it doesn't always work this way. But if we don't have the plan and try to work to the plan, then it really doesn't work this way at all. You know, so we're trying to get to that sweet spot of trying to get organised. So really, this is my big lists of being organised, and so a couple of things there about, I guess, the serendipitous stuff, which serendipitous content types, and I think that's something that gets overlooked. I mean, we can just keep blogging, or you can make videos, or you can do these other things, but what happens if you've got a developer in the company who's got this great new software tool he's making? It might be a really good content type that you hadn't thought of, and just some things that just come out of left of centre. And yeah, so also another point I'd make there about having weekly meetings about your content. Don't just sort of set and forget. I think it's really a good idea to spend time having meetings with other people about the content on your team, or maybe the clients as well. And go next. And of course, I've always got a disclaimer, right? Got to have a disclaimer, because now that I've said all this stuff, now I'm going to say, but, you know, yeah, it's time frames, volumes, it's so variable. But in general, we do try to aim to do all those things that are in all those slides. And if we can get there to sort of 80 or 90% for the clients, if we can go above 90%, we're doing really well, and we get really good results. If we can't, if the client doesn't play ball, and if they don't give us enough time to do the work, maybe we go 50%, and we just don't really get those results for the client. So yeah, final tip is, you know, time is ticking. So get in and get content marketing get content out there and just get it happening. Yeah. So that's me.
You. Well, thank you all for coming. As with last session and all the sessions that I run, I can't speak for Pete. He's like Pete. If you want the slides, if you want any help, I'm on LinkedIn. I'll add you guys. Not tomorrow. Oh my God, not tomorrow. But I will add you guys all, and you can find me. We have this up on the screen. digitallabs.net.au is my URL. Or I will contact you and you can ask for the slides. Also, if you want a really good social media audit and content calendar, just let me know and I'll push all that stuff through to you. I'm here to help. I'm here to give you the tools to be successful. And then my tools I've taken from other people. So the audit is from Hootsuite. It's a brilliant audit. I've used it a bunch of times. And the content calendar, you can find a million of them online. But if you want ones that have worked for me, just drop me a line. I'm more than happy to pass on that information and really as much as I can get away with whilst trying to do my job at the same time. But hey, thank you all for rocking up today. I seriously appreciate the show, people turning up and the scuffle in the back row. This is exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. Passionate people debating digital marketing. It's like they've taken it outside, so I'm a bit worried about where that's going to end up. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that I'm trying to build a community of people who love what they do and talk about it passionately. So thank all of you for turning up. And can you guys indulge me in one crazy thing? I really want to take a selfie with everyone behind me. Is it cool if you just bunch up a little bit so you're in the screen? I'm just going to put this down. So everyone just bunch in a little bit